Hey there, honey bunnies. Welcome to episode 118 of the Sovereign Storytellers podcast with your host, Michelle Wolf. This episode is, stop looking for your money blocks. Or, you're not resisting money. You're resisting fear of not having money. I don't know. As usual, I'll figure it out. So, I'm not entirely sure I have all the words together for this. But let's talk it through. So this episode is for people who have really 100% honestly tried every manifestation thing out there, everything. You've taken a million programs and you've really worked them. Like, you didn't half-ass them. You actually really did everything that you were told to do. And a lot of people around you got results, but you didn't. So for the people who are like, they say, well, get all in alignment, say you need $5,000, take action on the first idea, and you do all of that and nothing happens. This is for you. So that's been me. I do all the things. I put 110% into every money program I've ever taken, and nothing changes. I've done the lineage work. I've done all the works, all the things that are out there that you can do. I have done, and I've self-checked. I've asked people, am I fooling myself? Do I think I'm doing the effort? Do I think I'm following the program, but I'm kidding myself? No, it's very obvious that I am actually doing all the homework and I'm a great student and nothing is changing. As you might imagine, I'm a little frustrated about that. It doesn't make sense to me. I keep coming back to the same question. Why? What are my money blocks? Why am I blocking money? How come I can make a little extra money for a while, but I keep coming back to this barely getting by? And people are like, well, that's your financial set point and mindset work and soul work, and you've got a curse and la 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 la, and use this essential oil labeled finance, which I did for over a year. So it's pissing me off. And I've been asking, here's what's different. Instead of asking, show me my money blocks, I've been asking to show me what the fuck. Show me what the fuck around money. I clearly don't understand what's happening. I'm doing what I'm told to do and not getting the results I, in theory, should be getting. So show me what the fuck. This is the question. If you have a stubborn issue around money, a stubborn chronic issue that you know that you're trying and it just is not changing, that's this. So that can be, for some people, that's finding a relationship. Some people, they're really struggling with their health and they're doing all the things and nothing's getting better. For some people, it's money. It's usually just it's just usually three things, right? Money, love, health, money, love, and health, money, relationships, and health. There's really not much else, right? We only have three problems and the variations on those problems. And people typically struggle with one of those three and maybe two, but usually people have one area where it's just a struggle. So that's who I'm talking to. If you can make manifestation things work when you're in a pinch, then this probably isn't going to apply to you. I can't make those things work whether I'm in a pinch or not. I can be down to the wire, gotta sell some plasma kind of broke, and that money will not show up. There's not the 11th hour. And then right at the last minute, I got a check in the mail or somebody paid a bill that they stiffed me on or whatever. Like, that doesn't happen in my world. It doesn't happen for everybody. So let's talk about that. I'm trying to find what came through. Just quick looking it up on Instagram. So it occurred to me when something's stubborn, you back up and you come opposite. I'm trying to make money. I'm trying to figure out my money blocks. I'm trying to figure out why money is so hard. I'm trying to money. So then if you're stuck like that, you're supposed to, where this can be effective, I'll let you know if it works. You back up and you go, show me how poverty serves me. Show me how the struggle with money works for me. Show me what payoff. What's the secondary payoff here? How am I actually benefiting from not having money? And this will expose a lot of like mindset stuff. It's like, I'm not saying you don't have money blocks, that you aren't scared, because we do get scared about money. I am always butting up against this thing where I don't want to have it unless everybody has it. Like, I don't want to be different like that. So I keep coming up with that one, and I work at that, but it's not the big problem. Like, I want everybody. I want us all to have all the monies. I want everybody to have all the work that they love at a volume that works well for their lives. Like, I want us all to have it all. Sometimes I get not jealous, but I'm like, damn it, why can't I? I'm so happy that she can make that work. And then I'm like, okay, how come I can't make that work? Like, what's the problem here? I love that she is successful. Now, how can I do that? Like, why can't I replicate that? So pop-ins from being the gang have been, if you've been asking for a situation to change and it hasn't, these are on my Instagram. Instagram.com/MichelleWolf11. If you've been asking for a situation to change and it hasn't, you're asking the wrong question. Ask another. Okay, that was one that came on September 18th. And I was like, all right, you're right. I've been asking this same question. Why? What about the money? What's going on with the money? Why can't I la? And not getting anywhere. So let me start asking a different question. So the different question has been the what the fuck question. Like, I don't even fucking know what kind of question to ask. So show me. Show me what the fuck is going on here. Expose my blind spot. Bring to my awareness what I'm not aware of. And I have asked that question before. And I got a little bit of it, but I didn't. Like, I can see at different points throughout the years where I have been shown what I'm going to tell you, but I wasn't ready to hear it. Like, I heard it enough that I remember, like, oh, wait a minute. I kind of briefly hit and run past this subject a couple of years ago. Like, oh, I remember, like, some psychic told me that way back in 2007, and I just totally blew it off, as we do, as one does. Okay, and then the thing they said when I was, where is that? The thing they said to me last night that kept me up till 4 a.m. was, it's not about money. It's our motivation for making the money. If our motivation, I don't know why I can't find that. I know I posted it, y'all. If we can't make the money, if our motivation for making money is fear-based, we're never going to have enough. It's never going to be enough. Even if we make, air quote, enough, it won't be enough. Like, we'll always feel poor. We'll always feel like there's not enough. We'll always have this deep, deep underlying anxiety that we're going to end up in the gutter. Oh, here it is. If your pursuit of money is rooted in the fear of what happens if you don't have enough, you never will. Money avoids anxiety. So this is a little law of attraction-ish, and it's shadow, and it's, the AA, what you resist persists. What we're afraid of dogs our heels like a shadow, right? It's our shadow. We cannot get rid of it. So in a sense, we are attracting. We're always attracting, okay? Strip away the secret nonsense of manifesting a Ferrari by counting your nose hairs every night for a week or whatever stupid thing. That's the bastardization of a law of cause and effect, of law of attraction that actually is real when you strip it down, or it's true. If we're afraid of not having enough money, then we're always attracting not having enough money. Right? I know that's not the first time you've heard that. But the answer I think that a lot of us have been trying to get to is, okay, I'm going to stop being afraid of not having enough money. And let me just tell you, that has never, ever, ever fucking worked. It has never in the history of time, in the history of human beings with a brain, with a frontal cortex, it has never worked to say, hey, I know, I'm just going to stop being afraid. I'm just going to quit that fear thing. I'm just going to not think about it. It doesn't work, honey bunnies. It does not. When you fear something, when you want the money, so you want to have this so that you can avoid experiencing that. So we're back to our if this, then that. We always come back to that, right? Am I like a broken record on that? On all the many variations of if this, then that. If we're so afraid of being poor that we're driven to make money to prevent something bad from happening, we are never going to get there. The money block is a money block, but it's not a block in the way we've been thinking. It's not a mindset issue. It's I don't want to feel the fear of the what if. I will do anything to avoid being like them. I'm talking about my family that my dad's side of the family who lives in the woods on welfare, multi-generational. To me, even just thinking about that, I can feel the fear. So that's what they expose for about 4 days, every single day. I have asked to be shown, what the fuck am I missing? Have I said fuck like 400 times already? I'm going to go get sorry for the background noise change. I'm going to get my journal. I want to read you this question verbatim so that you can use it. It comes from Karen Curry Parker's Quantum Alignment System. It's not a secret. I learned it in my human design training, but it's, out there everywhere. So for 4 days, I started writing this question twice a day. Hold, please. Do. I would sing you the Jeopardy song, but for some reason it just went right out of my head. What needs to be healed, released, aligned, and brought to my awareness for me to fill in the blank? Okay, you do this for yourself. What needs to be healed, released, aligned, and brought to my awareness for me to put your insert problem here. Okay, so what I've been saying is what needs to be healed, released, aligned, and brought to my awareness for me to have a healthy relationship with money. Not a relationship with the energy of the money that is like the Real Housewives of Atlanta loaded drama. Always with the fucking drama. Always with the fucking stress. You know what? I'm going to try and stop cussing so much. I might have should have waited a couple of days before doing this because I'm still all kind of cranked up and I didn't sleep very much because I didn't fall asleep till 4 and I had to get up at 5:30. So I might be running on a little bit of fumes. Pardonnez-moi. Okay, so then what arrived in my pea brain is I'm not afraid of money. I love money. And I don't have guilt when I have money, except I do want everybody to always to have money too. Like, I'm happy when I have money. I will spend it now. I had to learn. My mom actually taught me that quality is better than, better to spend those few extra bucks and get what you really want and get high quality because you're going to pay more in the long run when you're cheaping out. You're going to spend that money anyway. It'll come circular if you go cheap. So go ahead and get what you want. Okay, so I did that. I'm trying to give you the process so you can replicate it for yourself. I did that for 4 days and 4 nights. And then last night I sat down and I did a deepest fear inventory. And that comes, you can find that on the internet. Carolyn Elliott, she wrote the book Existential Kink. There's some stuff in there that I'm not, I don't enjoy, but there is also a lot of good in that book, Existential Kink. I think people think because I'm a Scorpio that I am comfortable with like a lot of sexual conversation. And let me just tell you, I'm not comfortable with any sexual. I don't like sex jokes. I don't like innuendo. One of my friends called me a straight up fucking prude once, and she was exactly correct. I think sex should be in the bedroom, and I think it should be as wild and crazy as it can be in private. Okay, a deepest fear inventory is where you have a stuck spot, right? This is a really powerful tool. And I've done it, of course, many times on money, and I didn't get to this state until I added asking that question. And probably I've been wearing myself down. You can only ask the same damn question for so long before eventually you're going to give up and hear what needs to be heard. Okay, so go Google that or go get yourself a copy of Existential Kink. It's not expensive. Carolyn Elliott, again, CarolynElliot. Is there 2 T's in Elliott? I think there's just one. Elliott. You write down your problem and in the opposite, right? So I've been trying to make a certain number. Well, I'll just say 5,000. That's the minimum, right? 5,000 is a comfortable life. I don't have a huge amount of debt. This is before tax. 5,000 gross is like the minimum, right? The minimum to be able to go to the movies and do some random shit and put some stuff in savings and pay down debt, that's the minimum after taxes. So, and I can't pull it off consistently. I can get bigger chunks in a month. The highest has been, I think, 17,000 or 15,000 in 1 month. But if that's what you make and then you don't make any money for 6 months, it doesn't work out real well. So be sure to get real stats of people who are saying, I make 15,000 a month. Well, how many months did you do that? 1? When's the last time you had a $15,000 a month? You can watch for some stuff coming on that from Mary Vernal. 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 I might be saying it wrong, come to think of it. Mary Vernal. Vernal. Just maryvernal.com. So you write down, I refuse. Let's say you're trying to make $10,000 a month. That seems to be a popular number in coach world. I just got a friend request from someone tonight, and their banner was make 10K months. And I was like, denied. I'm so done with that. So you write down, Dear Universe, or Dear God, or Dear Jesus, Allah, Buddha, whoever you talk to. Dear God, I refuse to make $10,000 a month every month because I have a deep fear that, and then you start filling in the blank. So a lot of people will say, I have a deep fear that these aren't mine, but I'll have, or some of them are, but I'm not reading verbatim from my journal. I need to start making that more clear, because a lot of times I'm speaking in the general we, and people think I'm talking about me. And so I need to be more specific about that. So you write down, I refuse to make whatever a month, every month, because I have a deep fear that I have to give it all away. And then you write it, because I have a deep fear, because I have a deep fear. So because I have a deep fear that people will judge me, because I have a deep fear that I'll do something stupid and lose it all, because I have a deep fear that no one will like me. And that's true. You will lose friends if you suddenly start making a shit ton of money. You're going to have people have reactions to it. Sometimes that's not fun. So, it's not that these fears are false. It's that we need to be aware of them so that we'll let ourselves actually feel that fear, actually feel it. Because if we actually feel it, we can stop running from it. It's the running from it that's slowing down our money. This is my theory. I'll let you know. I'll let you know if this is the magic, 4-leaf clover that unwinds this ball of yarn I've been struggling with forever. So, because I have a deep fear that some people have a fear that if they have all the money, that they'll leave. That they'll get up and ditch everybody and go run off and join, the circus in Sweden or somewhere. They'll just go do wild things. Like, they don't trust themselves. Like, if I have all the money, then I will just go bananas. I'll do whatever I want. I'll abandon my family. Of course, these things won't happen, right? Of course, you're not going to do that. It doesn't matter if it's logical. Clearly, it's not logical. Our subconscious, in human design terms, our spleen is a land of madness and cooked up, made up things for us to be afraid of. Okay, anxieties and things that just don't. They're not true, and yet we have to treat them with respect. And I think that's the missing piece for me. Again, I don't have all the words. I might have to do a part 2. But I think we can talk this through together. And if you think of better words, or if this hits for you in a way that you can explain it better than I'm doing right now, please let me know. People can have, this was one of my fears, that if I was really wealthy, I would get hurt. This came from my mom telling me that rich people's kids get kidnapped and held for ransom. And she didn't mean anything by that. She was doing the thing that my family does. It's good to be poor, because if you're rich, you could get stolen and held for ransom. So see, it's not so bad. Like, my family was trying to make it better, and instead I was like, oh, hell no, then I don't want any money. Like, that was one of the very early beliefs. I was like, oh yeah, I kind of think if I have a lot of money, I'm going to get stolen. I'm going to be disappeared and held for ransom. So the deepest fear inventory exposes all that, because you sit there and write like 50 of these things. You keep writing until you run out. And you do that every day until you can see, and you may be writing the same thing over and over again, until you can visually see on paper how ridiculous these things are. And get comfortable with, I have to yawn, so much energy is moving. Also the no sleep thing. But to get comfortable with, wow, I really do feel afraid. I feel the sensations of fear in my body, even though I'm thinking these ridiculous thoughts about money. So you keep doing that to keep exposing like what you're really afraid of. I have a deep fear that I'll be trapped by responsibility, right? A lot of people fear this one. Oh my God, I've tripled my income. Now I'm going to have to work triple hard. And that's not true. You work differently. But you can hire people, and yeah, there might be a little more work on the front end while you train them, but then you are back to, we think that the money is just going to come in and sweep us away. Oops. I got all excited with my hands and knocked some stuff over on the bathroom counter. Oops. We think we're going to be spun out of control. Like, we're not going to be able to say, I think I'll hire someone. I think I'll interview for someone to help me with all this success, right? We think that we're just going to drown and get burned out because that's what our previous work lives actually did to us. Somebody quit and they're like, hey, guess what? You got 2 jobs, but you aren't getting a raise. And then you're working 60 hours a week. So, again, a lot of these fears are grounded in some true experiences. So, fear of how much people are going to want for you. Fear that if you raise your prices, you're going to have to provide even more and you're going to end up exhausted from that. Having a fear that people will just require everything of you and you'll have nothing left for yourself. That like suddenly you're completely boundaryless again and everybody you just have to perform. If people give you money, you can be afraid you're going to end up enslaved to them. This can have roots in experiences in the family or past lives, however you choose to look at that, with indentured service. Like you're kind of getting money, but also you're not a slave because, as we know, that's completely different. But you're enslaved, but you're not a slave. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? They own you, and in your mind, you have to do whatever they say. Like, you don't have an option to, like, run away and do something different. Because you have a deep fear that you'll do anything for money, that you'll compromise your ethics and values if somebody offers you. And many of us have done this when we've taken a client that we knew damn good and well wasn't the right client, but the mortgage was due and you knew you could help them, but they weren't ready, or it was just a mismatch. It's not like anybody's wrong in that situation, but it's out of integrity. So you might have a fear that if you're making more money and something even bigger comes along, that you might really jump out of integrity because the money would be so big. So you're only going to keep this, you're going to keep your number really small. So then so I did all that and I was like, oh, fuck. I'm super really scared of ending up like them. That if I don't make this happen, then I will end up living in the depths of abject poverty, where I did live as a child, briefly, but impactfully. Like, I don't think it was like years, but I think it was months more than once that really left an impact. But I didn't know how much my weird panic about it and my striving and working almost too hard to figure it out was based on a fear that if I don't figure this money thing out, then I'm going to end up like that. And to me, that is horrifying, right? So there's the shadow. That's the piece that when we're in resistance, we're stuck to it. So if you're afraid of being poor, then you will never make enough money. Even if you make $100,000 a month, you'll never make enough. It will never be enough. Do you see what I'm saying? Are you picking up on putting down? It's the fear that's the problem. If you're so like, I got to figure this out, I got to make more money, I got to, or else, or I'm going to, now we used to say you're going to end up living in a van down by the river eating government cheese, but so many people are doing that right now, it doesn't sound like such a bad thing. So you can't really say that anymore. But you're going to end up working at Walmart. You're going to end up living a life that you don't want to live. Let's just say that. I watched a colleague of mine come to work and cry every single day because she'd had her latest baby and was leaving it at daycare and coming to work. And I knew that financially she didn't need to work. Need. So one day I said, we were close enough that I could get away with this. I was like, you are miserable. Like, you're crying all the time. And I feel the ache, and I'm 6 desks down from you and I feel your heart breaking. Why don't you just stay home? And she was like, because I want my kids, and this is her choice, right? I want my kids to have everything, all the sports, all the name brand, all the premium, everything. I want them to have all the expensive vacations. I want them to have all these things, right? And in my mind, I was like, when my daughter was little, I chose to be poor. I chose to not go back to work because that was my value, that I wanted to be with her, at least for the first 3 years. It was so important to me. For her, it was so important that they have all the status, and it was important to her. So I'm not saying don't do this, but I'm saying if you're struggling to make money and you can't get it going, look at what you're trying to run from by making money. I don't know why this is so hard for me to find analogies for it. Probably because it's too fresh, and probably because I don't have all of it yet. I just got super excited and I wanted to make a podcast episode. And I'm not sleeping anyway, so might as well do something with it. Why are you trying to make the money? If I said that this is it for you, like this is as good as it gets, this is your life, this is what you came here to. I'm not saying this to anybody, right? We're talking about hypotheticals. Don't get freaked out. But if somebody did say, your guide said, listen up, bub, this is as good as it gets. This is your life. You're going to have to come to terms that this is the amount of money that you can consistently make. And that's it. Drop it. Don't ever buy another abundance book. Quit spending money that you could be spending on other stuff that actually would help you on another fucking money course. Oh my God. Please do me a favor and do not sit down and add up all the money that you have spent trying to figure out money. Because you will hate yourself. Don't do it. What are you afraid of? If this is as good as it gets, what part of you really, really fights back on that? Really push, oh no, oh my God, no, I couldn't bear it. Oh no, what if I never make $10,000 a month? Oh my God, what if all I can ever do is keep a roof over my head and some underwear on my butt? What if that's it? What part of you freaks out? Do you freak out about that? Then there's your answer. If it literally scares you, the idea of not being as successful as maybe your friends and family or your peer group, there's your answer. You're seeking money in order to not have something else. You're looking to have this so that you don't ever have to have that. For those of us who are like, oh my God, I have to fucking figure out this money thing. I cannot go through life on subsistence level, even though you've been doing it for decades, and you absolutely can do it because you've been doing it for fucking ever. If your response is like, oh my God, no, that's the worst news ever. I can't stand it. I got it. La, la, la. There you go. You're seeking money for the wrong reasons. Your motivation is to avoid, and so law of attraction keeps bringing you what you're running from, because that is actually the dominant energy in your aura. In your little chunk, your little bubble of the quantum field is filled with fucking fear about not having enough money. So ding, ding, ding. Bob, tell them what they win. Oh, you get the awareness that that's why you keep having fear and you keep having not enough money. Oh, shit. So, it is law of attraction, right? It's law of attraction. Am I wrong here? Tell me. Tell me if I've got this all twisted up, because I haven't really talked to anybody about it. So, you know how sometimes you think you have something all figured out and then you start saying it out loud and you're like, oh shit, I'm an idiot. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. Law of attraction keeps bringing you not enough money because you're so scared to not have enough money. And so none of the goddamn programs work because they're not treating the core of the cycle, right? They're not, they're treating the symptoms, not the, the thing that's, what the hell? They're not curing the cause, the root cause. There it is. We're not treating the root cause. A book about how to make more money and write a bunch of fucking affirmations and to do all this work, even the stuff that I just described to you, is not going to work because it's going in the wrong direction. It's not about making more money. It's about making peace with not making enough money. When you let yourself experience that, oh my God, what will happen if my kids grow up wearing used clothes? And they don't get to play sports because sports are freaking expensive. Oh my God, I can't believe what parents, they practically have to take out a second mortgage to pay for all the camps and the equipment and the extra coaching. And I'm like, damn, can't kids just play? Why does it cost $10 million to have your kid in some sport year round? That's insane. But, poor kids don't get to do that. There's some scholarships, I'm sure, but there's also, I'm sure, a lot of kids that don't get to do those things because they don't have the money. I didn't get to do those things because we never had the money. So, what are you afraid of? This would be a list to make. Okay, if this is as good as it gets, and I'm never, ever going to make enough, what I think is enough, and I'm certainly never going to make what I think is more than enough to have like a luxury life. How do I react when I think that? Do I freak out? Then this is the core. This is the root cause that's creating all the symptoms of having to juggle bills and not be able to, have to scrimp and save and do all the stuff that we do with money. Does it freak you out, the idea of having to sell your house and get into a smaller house, or to, get into a van? If you haven't watched Nomadland on Hulu, you should. And even better, read the book. Nomadland. Read that book. If you read that book and you end up terrified, you know what? That actually may have been part of what broke this loose. Because I was obsessed with that book and I've watched the movie twice. And I was kind of curious about watching it twice. I was like, I already watched this. Why do I want to watch it again? Well, that's how spirit do. They just make you do weird shit, trying to give you the answer to a question you keep asking. Okay, so what if? What if the bottom fell out and you ran out of money and you had to just go work at Target and live in an apartment with 4 roommates in order to get by? I'm guessing that a lot of you are like, no! If you're a person who's like, well, I guess we just figured out. Like, we might end up under a bridge, but I think, we'll just pull together and we'll figure it out. And you really mean it, then you probably are one of those people who can, like, really say a prayer and really get focused, and all of a sudden the money comes. So that's not the kind of fear I'm talking about. I don't think anybody really wants to struggle with money. I'm sure as I say that I'm wrong about that. Somebody is probably loving it. I don't love it. I'm guessing you don't love it. So we have to look at this fear. We have to let ourselves step into that. Now, the silly law of attraction stuff says, well, if I let myself feel that, and if I imagine being even dirt poor, then I'm going to create that. Well, no. What you're creating is a static situation that you can't budge because you will not let yourself feel that. You're not going to magically make yourself poor by facing the fear of poor. That's the secret twisty garbage shit about law of attraction. So I really just prefer what you resist persists. If you resist feeling fear, you will continue to create situations that are fearful, that you will try to avoid, and you'll squish it down so that you don't become aware of it. But then you start doing a bunch of spiritual personal growth work, and damned if that shit doesn't just come rising right up to the surface. The long-term chronic stuff can take him years to finally get conscious about, because that's deep. So this is for chronic, I can't budge this problem. This pattern just keeps repeating itself. So back up. All right. This is as good as it gets. I can make just enough to do this kind of life and grant me the ability to find peace with that. Let me find people I judge as white trash and feel my resistance to them. Allow myself to imagine being them. We're all one, right? We love saying that. We're all one. Yes, we are, and we're not. And feel the resistance. I don't want to be that. No, I don't want to be that. I'll do anything. Don't make me be that. We're so dramatic. I'll just say it for myself. I'm so dramatic about this kind of stuff. Okay. Do you know what I'm saying? Does this make sense? When you think about what you're afraid of, that it just keeps following you around, because you have to turn around and embrace it. It's the only way it changes. I'm guessing that if you sit and think about it, there have been situations in your life where once you finally said, well, okay, this is just the way it is, and I'm going to make the best of a bad situation, and I'm going to figure out a way to still be a happy person, or, at least feel good now and then. And then all of a sudden everything would break loose, right? But we know that you can't artificially do it. You can't say, okay, I think I'll surrender now because, it's all right. And you don't mean it, right? You're just like whistling in the dark. You're trying to pretend that you're surrendered to it so that it will break loose. But we know the truth is, until you really 100% surrender, ain't nothing going to change. We've proven that ad infinitum, ad nauseum. Yeah? Okay. Oh, 45 minutes. I set a goal, and I guess I'm going to let that go, of trying to keep the podcast under 30 minutes, but I cannot. I think it was from years of being trained as a therapist. You're kind of trained to talk for 50 minutes, 50 to 60 minutes. I think it's a conditioned response. Okay, so here's what came after that. I was trying to fall asleep, and I heard, God grant me the ability to accept what is. God grant me the understanding that what is, in my perception, is not all there is. God grant me the courage to perceive and receive the truth in all of life, all of it. Good, bad, ugly, black, white, gray, all of it. All of it includes my absolute horror of becoming that stereotype that I even today, like I have some work to do. But at least this work, I think, is going to set me free to feel better. I'm not thinking anymore, if I do this work, then I will make the money. Ta-da! Now I'm thinking, I just want some peace around this goddamn subject. I just want peace with it. So now I'm like, I'm going to do this work because I want to feel better, because I'm tired of beating myself up. I'm tired of feeling so dumb that I can't figure this out. I'm tired of feeling like I'm somehow broken or defective because I can't seem to figure this out, right? These are some of my negative thoughts. God grant me, obviously, replace the word God if you don't like it. I understand. I used to hate that word too, but now it feels comfortable to me. God grant me the ability to accept what is. You know what is right now? Whatever money's in the bank, that's what is. Whatever your average money, income, ability is, that's what is right now. That's the truth. God grant me the understanding that what is, in my perception, is not all there is. Okay? That's the acknowledgement that how I see the world right now is not the truth of everything. Remember last time I talked about changing glasses. I'm wearing the glasses right now that say, oh my God, please make me make money. Please help me make money, because I don't want to end up like a pole cracker. So dumb. It's shadow work. I don't want to accept it. I don't want to. I don't like it. You don't have to like it. You have to have compassion for it, peace with it, that if you ended up like that, you'd still be okay. You would still have the heart that you have. You'd still take care of yourself and your family as best you could. You would live. You would not die. You would be okay. Really, who gets in a tizzy about all this, right? Who? Our ego. Oh my God, I need to have the best. I need to match the neighbors, and I need to, shame. There's a lot of shame in this stuff. And then God grant me the courage. First I wrote, God grant me the ability. And then I scratched that out and wrote, God grant me the willingness. And then I scratched that out and was like, no, God grant me the courage. This stuff takes courage. It takes big ovaries to say, I want to perceive and receive the truth in all of life as best I can. I don't want to be blind to things. I want to see as much as I can and be aware of as much as I can, first of all, so I can build my vocabulary of being able to tolerate different emotions and energy signatures. And secondly, because, I'm curious. I want to know what all the stuff is. The courage to perceive what you're not perceiving now. The courage to let yourself step into the fear of what would happen if you live in like a super nice house and drive what you consider a fancy car, whatever that means to you. If you had to sell that tomorrow for a used Honda Accord, would you feel like you were dying? Would you feel like the entire world had come to an end? Because now you have to drive a 1991 Honda Accord and the passenger side door doesn't open. And passengers have to crawl in from the back to get it. Does the thought of that make you think you might die if that happened? Okay. So write that question. Start writing that question if you want. What needs to be healed, released, aligned, and brought to my awareness for me to fill in the blank. Then the deepest fear inventory. Better that you go find this on the internet or go get the book, but I'll just say you write down, everything you've been trying to get. You acknowledge that you're refusing to have it. Some part of you is saying, I'm an absolute no to this. The reason that you would be an absolute no to making money when you're coming from a place of fear is because that's an unhealthy place and because your system is split, right? All systems are always seeking wholeness and unity and health. You can't be whole and unified and healthy if there's a whole part of you that's living in fear that something's going to happen if you don't make this other thing work. Right? You're split. So you would refuse. You actually wouldn't be able to because of law of attraction, magnetic stuff. You're magnetically bound to that fear. So you actually can't break loose and receive the money and solve the problem because you have not dealt with the thing that is stuck to you, the thing that you're resisting, the thing that won't go away because you won't stop resisting it, because you won't step into and feel the emotions related to it. What we reach for, we push away. I've said this for years, and I've never been able to find who wrote it. So if you know, let me know. The hand that reaches for the feather creates the breeze that pushes it away. I thought it was Hildegard of Bingen, but I don't find it anywhere on the interwebs. The hand that reaches for the feather creates the breeze that pushes it away. When we are striving for something, we are pushing it away when the striving is fueled by fear. That's the nuance, okay? When it is fueled by fear, your efforts will push what you're trying to achieve far, far down the road. It doesn't mean you'll never get there, but you need to go through this process of asking yourself, what's my motivation? Okay, so that question that I just told you, you dear whoever, I refuse to have a loving relationship, or I just refuse to be really healthy and comfortable in my body because I have a deep fear that, and then start filling in the blank. And no kidding, plan on writing at least 30 of those. If you can't come up with 30 of them, I think I'm going to call bullshit. I think I'm going to call bullshit on you, because if it's that bad of a chronic problem, each statement will lead to another one. Like, I'm afraid that everyone will hate me, and or I have a deep fear that everyone will hate me, that all my friends will not be my friends anymore because now I'm have more money than God, and I'm afraid that I'm not willing to feel the sensations that I would have to feel if my friends quit being my friends because I have more money than God, right? There's a refusal to feel. I refuse to feel this thing that I'm afraid of. I refuse to feel, even in my own mind, the potential that I'm going to end up working too much and I won't be able to figure it out. Like, there's so much resistance in it that this helps you start to tease apart the aspects of resistance. And you do that over and over again. Do it every other day. until you start to get those little nuggets of, I wonder if this is the problem. Or, oh, I don't want to feel that. Oh, I'm trying to make money so that I don't be like, a garbage person. God, we're so ridiculous. So anyway, that's it. That's all I have for you. What was the third thing? Oh yeah, and then that prayer. And I posted that on Instagram and Facebook too. God grant me the ability to accept what is. God grant me the understanding that what is, in my perception, is not all there is. God grant me the courage to perceive and receive the truth in all of life. There isn't one truth, we know that. Just play with it for yourself. Like take that and bounce off of it. Make one of your own. What do you need the divine to help you feel? What are you so afraid of that you won't even look at it, even though that fear and refusal to look at it is keeping you caught up in it, keeping you attached to it? That's the situation you need to be asking for courage to become aware of it and feel it and resolve it and find peace with it. That is a more productive path than trying to find what your money blocks are or clearing energy. A bazillion times have you cleared your energy? Somebody's cleared your energy. We can do that, and it's temporary. It's a band-aid, and there's nothing wrong with it. But if you want to figure out the root of it, you got to start asking to be shown what the fuck. All right? All right, play with that till I feel like ranting again. And in the meantime, think less, feel more, please. Think less, feel more. Talk to you later.